Lecture number 4, Formatting Cells, Font, Colors, and Borders. When working with spreadsheets, raw data can be difficult to interpret. Formatting helps organize and emphasize important information, making it easier to read and analyze. Using fonts, colors, and borders properly enhances the presentation of data while maintaining clarity and professionalism. Objectives of this lecture. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to apply font styles and sizes to improve readability, use colors effectively to highlight important data without overwhelming the spreadsheet, add borders to define sections and improve organization. Formatting fonts for readability. Text formatting enhances clarity and organization. Font size, style, and emphasis like bold, italics, underline should be used purposefully to structure data effectively. Font style. Use standard fonts like Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman for a professional look. For example, I just open a file that we already have saved. Click in here. Font Arial already throughout this document. Here you can see font size. Headings should be larger, for example 14 to 16 points. As you can see, these are the headings, and it has a font of 12, and you can increase it to 14. So we'll just double click that to make space for each heading. So here you can see the heading of this entire row has been 14, and it is Arial, which is bold as well, while standard text remains readable at 10 to 12 points. You can see, for example, we just select this, the entire text is 10 points with Arial, and you can choose Calibri or Times New Roman as well according to the needs and requirement of your content. Bold and italics. Bold text highlights key figures. For example, I just want to bold this unit price, which has been the highest. For example, in this column we can see this one is the highest one. We just click this cell, go to this bold. Here you can see the text has been bold, which just highlights the text. Italics can emphasize notes or special information. For example, I just want the technology from this column to be italic, so we'll just select it. So, and just go to this font section, press I. You can use Control plus I if you're using Windows, and Command plus I if you're using Mac. So you can just press I. So these selected cells have been italic as well. So this emphasizes the notes and special information. The next we have underlining. Best used for headings, but avoid excessive use in data tables. For example, I just want this column to have headings as underline. We'll just go to this font section and select this U, which has a little underline, and click on that. So here you can see this row, which is the heading, has been underlined to emphasize that these are the headings and prominent throughout this sheet. Using colors to highlight important data. Colors should be used strategically to differentiate categories, highlight trends, and draw attention to critical figures. However, too much color can make data look cluttered. For example, the first 11 of the data entry from profit, I just want them to be colored as red. So here you can see we can change the color of the text or the data that we have already put. Text colors. Dark colors like black, navy, dark green for readability, red for negative values, for example losses or overdue payments, green for positive trends, for example revenue increase. For example, as you can see, if we just want the negative values to be highlighted as red, we can just Control Z, and we'll just select with the negative values and go to this colored and select the red one, but the positive ones should be green. We just go to this section and press green. So here you can see this identifies and distinguish the data that how many losses or how many profits we made throughout this sheet. Cell fill colors. Light shades for emphasis, for example light yellow for pending tasks, contrasting colors for categories, for example alternating row colors for readability. For example, I just want this column, or you can just select on H as well, and we just go to cell setting, and we'll just go to this cell style, and you can choose any of these. For example, I just want to go with this one, which is ice blue. Click on that, and this column has been filled with the desired color, but we just have to change the setting for that as well. We just go with Arial, and which is 14 points, bold and underline. So this has been implemented. Adding borders for organization. Borders help separate sections of a spreadsheet and improve structure, making it easier to navigate complex data. Thin borders used for standard cell outlines. For example, I just select this entire table, go to this section, and we'll click on this more borders. Here you can change the style of the borders as well. For example, I just want to go with this one, and it should be outline or inline. You can just choose any of these. So I just want to go with this one. We'll just press OK. Here you can see the entire table has been bordered with each cell. Thick borders emphasize totals or summaries. For example, I just want this column F1 to be in borders as thick, and I just go to these borders and select on thick outside borders. We'll click on that. Here you can see it has a thick border which just distinguish from other columns as well. So this is how you can just use thick borders. Dotted or dashed borders indicate optional or estimated values. For example, I just want this G column to be bordered as dotted or dashed. We'll go to this section and click on this more borders, and as you can see we have these options. We'll just click on any of these, press outline and inside as well. So we'll just click on this. Here you can see all the other borders are like thick ones, but this specific column has been bordered as the dotted or dashed. So this is how you can just add dotted or dashed borders in Microsoft Excel. Example, in a financial report, header rows may have bold borders, subtotals may have double line borders, and data sections separated with thin grid lines. So this is how you can just customize your worksheet according to your needs, requirements, and the data you have.